There are obviously many more, and just like me learning to hammer a nail, it's going to take some practice. And you think, oh, John, this is so easy. Well, I've been doing this professionally for many, many years, so it better be easier. Why are they paying me? So, we're going to go back to the PowerPoint and just look at two of the slides with our last tool. If you look at the slide, the foundational principles have to do with trust-based relational intervention. Understanding where the kids are coming from. Remember, if necessary, put the glasses on and say, I have not been a child from a hard place. I don't understand why they're acting this way, but I'm going to try to figure out why they're acting the way they do, and if I can't, I'm still going to try to respond effectively. Secondly, I need to connect. The healing and the hope comes from the relationship that we build with our campers. And so we need to connect with them. And then, we used to talk about managing their behavior, and really what we're talking about now is helping them to learn more effective ways to meet their needs. So we're going to empower them. We might have to give them suggestions, ideas, even model behavior. This is how you go up and say, hey, Tracy, I'm really sorry that I butted in front of you in line at lunch. That was rude. I'm sorry, I'm going to let you go in front of me. Now, it's your turn. Do just like I did. So we're going to empower them by showing them, telling them, whatever, a better way to meet their needs. And then, if appropriate, we're going to correct their poor behavior, keeping in mind it isn't because they're being willfully disobedient, it's because a lot of times they just can't, figure out what to do. A lot of times we figure out what to do because we draw on previous experience. If they haven't had any previous experience of being shown, taught, or learning appropriate behavior, they're trying to pull out of an empty well. And that's why we have to sometimes give them that information, let them practice, and move forward from there. If we go to the 2 slides ahead. So, as Marcia talked about, a small percentage of the kids will have consistent behavior problems. A big percentage of kids will have moments, and then a small percentage won't have any issues at all. And we have no idea who those children are going to be. We've tried to predict that with really lousy success. You read applications, child had all these issues, and there's just a rock star at camp. Kids had no issues, they come to camp and they have all kinds of problems. It's just hard to predict. So problem behavior happens. Sounds like a great bumper sticker. So, first thing we do is calmly, remember Jeff's example? He took a breath, he got control over himself, and firmly interrupt their behavior. Stop if they're continuing in some bad behavior, try to stop it. And then identify the need that drives their behavior. Why do we think they're acting this way in the present moment? And Marcia added this extra little piece in here, this acronym, HALT. They may be hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Those are real basic needs, and many of these kids, because of their immature brain development, still operate on a pretty basic level. And you heard Dr. Purvis talk about the child who had to know what they were having for every meal. That child might be real focused on food because they grew up food insecure in a neglectful home. Maybe they're angry. Our kids often get angry quickly over really small things. But remember, their lives aren't like theirs. They often haven't had many things or a lot of control over their life. Maybe they're lonely and they're not feeling connected to other campers or to you as their counselor. Even though you think you're doing it well and it's just going great, they may not be feeling that. They talk about felt safety. I could say you're in a really safe building, the doors are locked, whatever. But if you don't feel safe, you're going to respond from a place of fear rather than a place of comfort. And then tired. This happens, and lots of times it's us. As the week goes on, and a number of you in those expectation sheets this morning talked about just hoping you have enough stamina to make it through the week. And so, take advantage of your breaks. Get sleep when you can. And because fatigue can be a factor for us, but also for the kids. They're young kids. They're not used to being outdoors. They do all these activities. They swim in the lake. They just get worn out. And they don't always get worn out at the times that we'd like them to be worn out. And then they get that second burst right when we're supposed to get them into that thing called the bed. Favorite memory of first year of camp is trying to get 20 boys in this cabin where the showers weren't in the room in a separate place, maintaining 2 deep at all times, and getting them into the shower. I just sat myself down, even though I wasn't a counselor, just to be that second person, and laughed for a half an hour straight watching this circus of running kids, and 8-year-old boys, they don't like to shower. And many of them need to shower. So we want to interrupt the behavior, we want to identify the need if we can figure out that's driving the behavior, because if we can meet their need or help them to figure out how to meet their need, problem solved. And then show them how to do it appropriately. Maybe they're trying to meet their need and they're doing it really badly. And so we say, here's another way that you can get what you want. Why don't you try this? And they try it, and they do it well. And this last step is we praise them for doing so. So we are coaching, we are teaching, we are giving them a chance. Our third tool is what we call a redo. So if you look in your bag, you should see a little yellow piece of paper with a symbol on it. If you Google this symbol, you know what it's called? Redo. Come on, I'm 55 and I Google things. Come on, that's ridiculous. So you need to attach this final tool to your belt. And then we're going to talk about an issue related to this that comes up every year at camp, and let our deans discuss this issue before we practice redoing. So I'll give you a minute to just get your redo tool in place.